rices, if that would be a problem.
Yes, that's a great question. So the question is, well, first of all, let's just recap this idea of food combining, because there's different things people think about what food combining is. There is sort of an archaic thought about food combining from a book called Diet for a Small Planet by Frances Moore Lapp, or Lappe. No one knows how to pronounce her name, but that's her. She wrote this book about food combining that said you should combine grains and beans to get a balanced protein, to approach the protein balance of an egg. And since the 1970s, the scientific community has come to the conclusion that you don't need to combine foods in that way. And Frances Moore Lapp herself has come out and said, I was mistaken, you do not need to combine grains and beans in the same meal. So to be nutritionally healthy, you do not need to combine beans and grains in the same meal. And current thinking, which is perhaps old thinking that should become popular on the subject matter of food combining, is that you should actually not combine beans and grains in the same meal, in the same stomach, at the same time. The idea is that beans, which are more, I should say, proteins, which are beans and nuts and seeds, and then any kind of animal products, flesh or eggs or dairy. Those are all heavy protein foods, and they should not be combined with starches, bread, cereal grains, rice, wheat, barley, things like that. You should eat these in separate meals because they digest in essentially polar ways. And so the grains are, I think, more basic and the proteins are more acidic. And so if they go together, they don't digest well and neither one gets really digested fully.
They just sit there and rot.
Yes, they do. They tend to rot. And also, the other aspect of food combining is fruits go with neither beans or the protein nor carbohydrate. So Anna's question was, if we can't combine beans and grains together, what about combining more than one type of bean together, or nuts or seeds, or more than one type of grain in the same meal? And by the way, vegetables are okay with protein or carbohydrate. So combining grains in one meal, that's fine. It's basically okay to combine grains in one meal because they all digest in pretty similar ways. As far as proteins go, the theory is that all these are sort of just guidelines, obviously. You can eat beans and grains and you won't die. It's just not as efficient for your system. The idea with proteins is that beans are difficult to digest inherently because they actually have carbohydrates and proteins in the same bean. That's why we get gas, because they're hard to digest. So thinking is that perhaps we should probably try and eat one bean at a time. That would be ideal. But if you want to combine them, that would be okay. And then with nuts and seeds, they digest in fairly similar ways within their own group. So if you want to eat nuts together, that would probably be okay. If you want to eat seeds together, that would probably be okay. And then if you're into dairy, maybe you could eat dairy on its own, and that would be okay. So, yeah, in general, it's sort of easier in your system to eat fewer different things at one meal. The more things you throw into your stomach, the more work it creates for your stomach. So that's the idea, is to eat simpler meals. But if you wanted to, you could combine beans or nuts or seeds within themselves and within one group.
What's combining, or I'm trying to think. They talk about concentrated foods.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes. Concentrated foods. Concentrated foods is a term from the live foods people culture. And the idea is that there are live foods like these bananas, which are still alive. They've not been cooked. They're still sort of part of a living plant, and we could theoretically grow a plant out of this, grow a banana tree or something. That's the idea.
So put those in the ground and they would turn into...
No, they wouldn't.
Oh,
these would not actually grow.
Okay.
But like spinach or a carrot, you could perhaps make it grow again. The idea is that it's alive. It's still sort of came from the tree and hasn't been cooked yet. And then, So that's a live food. What are called concentrated foods are foods that have been cooked. They've been dried and then cooked. If you cook a vegetable or fruit, it's sort of concentrated. Then when you dry and then cook beans or grains, those are considered very concentrated foods. And the same for animal products like flesh or dairy, which I would recommend you don't eat. But if you want to eat them, just be cognizant that those are concentrated foods that take a lot of digestive energy to break them down into usable form for the human body. So, yes, they're very concentrated.
I wanted to, while I remember, I want to make sure and ask you about, we have a call, but I want to ask you about, I want to ask you about the differences between live foods and, or like sprouts and live foods. Is that, I always thought that sprouts were something kind of magical or something.
Well, yeah, sprouts are kind of magical. Live foods, the difference between live foods and sprouts is that there is no difference. Sprouts come under the category of live foods in that they're not cooked. Sprouts are actually little living plants, and they are magical. Their content, what is in a sprout, is pretty much magical. The protein and vitamins and minerals and enzymes and other various chemicals which are not traditionally considered part of our scientific thought about nutrition, other things that are in there are just wildly healthy. And you can tell they're alive. There's little tiny plants sort of bursting with life that they're just born and they still have their sort of glorious nature of tremendous growth. And they're magical. They're really fabulous foods to eat. I recommend you all eat sprouts. Try them. You'll get addicted to them.
Okay, well, let's see if they're still there.
Take a call.
Hello?
Maybe it's the other line.
Let's see, it was on line 1, right?
Maybe
I don't hear anybody.
Maybe we should, we could do a demonstration instead.
Okay.
So we've come prepared today to do a demonstration of some exciting vegan cookery. This is Live Foods Vegan Cookery.
It's not going to be live after you blend it up in that thing, though, is it?
That's a good question. Will it still be live after I blend it in the blender? This is the blender right here. You can see it on TV. It's the blender. It's actually still considered live for sort of a little while. You can blend it up, and then we'll drink it right now, and it'll still be considered live food in that it hasn't been cooked. Even though it's still blended up and it's not really a whole thing anymore, the good stuff that's in there is still there until it sort of oxidizes and turns brown. So
I guess I'm just thinking because, like, if I put my hand in the blender,
yeah.
it wouldn't be alive anymore.
It'd be a dead hand.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. Yeah. It comes under live foods. So what we're going to do here is, you may be wondering what are we going to do here? We're going to take just bananas, simple bananas. These are just standard. These are organic.
You're not even going to peel it?
Yes, I am going.
Oh, okay, good.
I am going. That's why Anna's the host.
I want to try some.
She asks the good questions. So we're going to peel the bananas. I'm going to put the banana in the blender with some water, right? The idea here is that this is a substitute and potentially a much better one for a milkshake of some sort. People think, milkshake is ice cream and dairy and sugar, all things which I cannot in good conscience recommend you eat. I can, however, recommend you eat bananas. And I will show you, we'll do a live, this is live, Thursday night, demonstration that you can actually make something that looks and tastes very much like a shake out of bananas and liquid. And so the idea is you take raw bananas, live, and peel them. You can if you want to, which is a fun thing. Take the banana, once you peel it, put it in the freezer overnight so that it's frozen, and then go through this process of putting it in the blender. And then it has a different consistency, and it can be very exciting.
I have a bunch of bananas that I froze a long time ago for banana bread.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably about 6 months old now. Probably wouldn't want to do that, would I?
Actually, I think that'd be fine.
Really?
6 months, probably they'd be fine.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Can we take a call now before we start
let's take
that?
a call. That's
okay.
good. Take a call. I'll keep throwing these in here.
Hello? I'm not hearing anything. So I pushed number 2.
Push 2.
Line 2. Same thing happened when I pushed the first one. I wonder if we're having technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. We're live. Ann Arbor, Michigan. So, back to the banana thing. I've put three bananas in here. You can see they're right in there. And then we're going to add liquid. And today, we just have standard American Ann Arbor tap water, which I don't also recommend, but what we have here in the station. You can use any kind of juice for this, which can be very exciting taste combination, like apple or orange or any sort of fruit juice or even carrot juice. Vegetable juice is fabulous.
With bananas?
Yeah, a banana and a carrot juice is remarkable. It's really, it sounds perhaps disgusting, but I think it's great.
Well, they're sweet. They're pretty sweet.
Yes, they are. Carrots are sweet. So you put the bananas in the blender, right? We got that step. Take the water, put the water also into the blender. Not very much water. Don't need a whole lot. And I don't have any measurements here. I'm not a scientist. And you just sort of do it until it gets the right consistency that you want. And let me take this moment to mention this blender. This cup cover to our blender, it's a black cover. This was lent to us by the Ann Arbor Fire Department, just next door. So I just wanted let's get a shot of this. So I don't know if they're watching or not, but I just thought I'd mention that this blender cover, this black blender cover, was loaned to us by the Fire Department.
A very nice blender cover.
Yes, it's fabulous, and it fits right on
nice.
there. Now, if you're listening at home, this might be loud, so plug your ears, put the dog away. This is live in Ann Arbor.
Is that all?
I think that'll do it for now. We'll see what happened. So, to recap, if you've just tuned in to this live telecast where you can call in and ask me questions about bananas and other nutritional things, we put just raw bananas and water in here. I turn the blender on, and we come out with this crazy liquid. You
could use that as a milk substitute. No, I'm just kidding.
You could. You
Really?
call this banana milk.
Oh,
This
wow.
is called a smoothie in some circles. This is called a banana smoothie. You can also add other solid fruits like orange or strawberry. Don't do apples because it tastes weird. But so I'll give one to Anna. Here's for Anna.
Thank you.
So you can see she will attest to the fact that this tastes good. I don't have to make a mess there. How is it? How is it?
Extremely sweet.
That's right. Too much.
And I know you didn't put any sugar in it because I saw you make it.
That's right.
But it's very, very sweet.
It's a live telecast. So I will try this.
Are those organic bananas?
These are organic bananas from the People's Food Co-op. I bought them today, Thursday. We're live, and I was just there half an hour ago, and I bought them, and they're about, I think they're 99 cents a pound. It's a bargain.
That's pretty good.
And it's fabulous.
Okay, let's take a call.
I wouldn't lie to you. It's great.
Hello?
Well, we have very quiet callers.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on.
They're expressing the silence of the ages. Well, meanwhile, what we're going to do is just sit back and drink some banana smoothie that I made live in Ann Arbor, cable access, today. But it's good. Very good. It's very sweet bananas.
Really sweet. Yeah.
I'd like to share bananas with all of you. I'd like everyone to come down to the station.
And
I'll give you some bananas.
you could mix up, you could use strawberries and ice.
Strawberries, oranges, ice. If you wanted to, you could add like soy milk or rice milk or...
Practically everybody has a blender.
Yes. You can even add almonds. It takes more blending, but it's really good. Not a great food combination, but I'll let it go this time. It's a very tasty thing. I think we should try the phones again. That's the feeling I'm having. Should we give it a try? Line 2?
Try line 1.
Let's try line 1 again.
Okay, line 1 is pressed. So we'll see if we can hear anything. Because I have a feeling that they can hear us, but we can't hear them. And now I hear something.
There it is.
Hello?
Hello?
All right, we got a call.
Hello, Mr. Caller. Speak your mind, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
I hear you.
The funny thing is on the other line I could hear you guys, but you couldn't hear me.
Yes.
And now I can't really hear you, but since I have my TV on, I can hear you from my TV, but I can't hear you from my phone.
We apologize for the technical difficulties.
But well, I'm a vegan myself, but I wondered, I wasn't born one, and I find the funniest thing about having a vegetarian diet is that you have to. It's a learning process, you know. So, but I wonder, what were your views on water? I know there's like thousands of brands of water out now with, but I prefer distilled water myself. But I wondered what your views on water were.
Yeah. The question is, I don't know if it's easy to hear out there. His question was, water. What are my views on water? So there's a lot of brands of water out there, and there's a lot of confusion about what water we should be drinking, what water we should not be drinking. So the man who is a vegan himself, which is fabulous. Congratulations, sir. He also said, just we're going to recap this because I know I can't always hear real well. He said that being a vegetarian, being a vegan, is a learning process. And I say amen to that. That's what I'm doing here, is trying to learn more about nutrition and things like that. So the question was, water. What kind of water would I recommend? And I'm not. The first thing I can recommend is that Ann Arbor tap water is not a good idea. Not a good idea. It's highly acidic, and it's full of all sorts of really disgusting chemical substances, which I think are just nasty. So, that said, I realized that buying water is a lot more expensive. So the first better option to drinking straight tap water is to filter it through a good filter, sort of a nice water filter. And even better than that is to buy bottled water. What kind of bottled water should we buy? There's spring water, there's French Evian water, there's water from the glaciers, there's sort of polar water, and there's distilled water. And some people say you should drink this and shouldn't drink that. But there are different theories on this question. And I indeed think that distilled water is okay to drink and probably healthy. And I also think that spring water is probably a good idea also. I'm not really convinced either way which one is better or worse. Definitely both spring water and distilled water are a lot better than tap water. So I don't really know. There's a lot of different theories out there about water. I don't have a clear answer as to whether spring water or distilled water is actually better.
One thing I remember reading about spring water is that it has minerals, some minerals that sometimes have to be filtered out through your body that can't really be incorporated. But I don't know how important that is or anything like that.
Yeah, that is part of the idea, that spring water maybe has these things you don't need in it. And she'll just walk through there from time to time. We're live, so what can you do? Enough joking around. We got some things to talk about. Talking about minerals in your water. So some people say that distilled water leaches minerals out of your body. You drink it and you lose all your minerals. It comes out in the water. The flip side to that idea is that perhaps there's a lot of excess minerals that are sort of floating around in your body. Maybe you don't need them. They're little rocks you've swallowed from taking pills or eating strange foods or drinking Ann Arbor tap water. And drinking distilled water, by its very purity and having nothing in there but water, H2O and a little bit of H3O, which is a chemical thing I'll tell you about a little later. By drinking this pure water, gives your body a chance to flush the minerals. So that's the thinking about distilled water, is that's maybe why some people think that it's a good idea to drink it, is it gives you such a clear and clean thing, nothing extra added, so your body can do whatever it wants with it. Whereas with some spring waters, people say, well, there might be a lot of additives that come from the environment or extra minerals and strange things that we don't necessarily need and that we have to end up filtering out through the body.
Let's take a call on line
Let's take a
2.
call on line 2.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I have a question. This question doesn't have much to do with vegetables or minerals, but I was wondering what the ladder is doing in the background.
Oh, the ladder.
I'm glad you asked that, sir. Let's just turn him off before he gets outrageous. The question was, in case you didn't hear the question, he said, what's the ladder doing back here? What's the ladder? The ladder, sir, I'm glad you asked that. This is the ladder of nutrition. I guess we failed to mention that.
Yeah.
But this is the ladder of nutrition. And I'll bring it a little closer here. It represents good nutrition in a ladder form. Now, I could go into detail about, how exactly it is that this ladder. Yes, thanks. Yes. I could explain in more detail how it is that this ladder. Look at that, my hand right there. I could explain how it is that the ladder represents good nutrition. But what I'm hoping is that by watching this show, we'll all get such a clear understanding and education about the real issues of nutrition today that affect us, each one of us, that the symbolism, the real metaphor, the analogy will become crystal clear in our own minds. So hopefully by watching this show, you will learn enough about nutrition to analyze our set symbolism on your own. And take that back to your professors at the U of M or the EMU and give them a thing or two to think about. And you can discuss the ladder of nutrition among certain intellectual circles. And if people are hip with the times, they'll know what you're talking about.
That was very good.
Thank you. I felt good about that, too. Another call?
Nope.
Nope. No calls?
I wanted to ask about water, though.
Yeah.
How do you, is drinking water good? I mean, how much water should you drink? Now, I have a friend who drinks 8 glasses a day, and he's real adamant about that.
Yeah.
It's like everybody should be drinking 8 glasses a day, and I don't like drinking that much water.
Yes. There is sort of there's a question about water, how much water you should be drinking. People, I think, wonder about this. People in Ann Arbor, people like you, watching live telecasts from Ann Arbor, wonder about water. 8 glasses, this is what people say, 8-ounce glasses of water a day, every day. I think that's, to be honest, ridiculous. I think that maybe that'd be fabulous for someone who's really not getting enough fluid in their system. I think for the average person, and sort of as a across-the-board rule, it's ridiculous. I think I don't believe in sort of, shoulds and shouldn'ts and things you should and you must drink 8 glasses of water or you will be dehydrated beyond all belief. I think that really your system knows what amount of fluids is appropriate. And the more fruits and vegetables and sprouts and live foods you're eating that have a high water content, the more fluid your body is getting by eating the solid foods. So if you're eating a lot of concentrated foods, a lot of meat and even in cooked foods, you're not getting as much water from your food. That's why you might need more water. But if you're eating more fruits and vegetables and sprouts, which I recommend, then you're getting more liquid in healthy form from your food itself. So that being the case, if you're thirsty, go ahead and drink water if you like, or drink juice if you like, fresh juice preferably. And really, I think, drink Blake Robinson, guy who knows a lot about food. I just noticed that on the TV. I can see sort of a thing going on. We're live, so nothing they can do about it. So yes, drink the water and the juice if you want to. Isn't that weird how that works? If you're thirsty, drink. If you're not, don't. That's like the Zen say, if you're tired, go to sleep. So if you're hungry, eat. And if you're thirsty, drink. Drink banana milk.
Trust your own senses.
Exactly.
So we have 2 calls, but we'll take them one at a time. Hello?
That Blake is a man who knows about food, but I was wondering, what else are your credentials, if you have any? And I was also wondering if your beard is fake. So that's what I was wondering. And I like your pants very much. Your pants look good.
Wait, sir. I missed the question about my beard. You faded out.
Oh, your beard, it looks fake. Is it the vegetables that make it that way, or the fruit, or what? I don't understand.
Is it?
It looks weird.
What is that?
Do you know this person?
No, it's
Pretty weird.
doing an accent. Thank you for your question, sir. That's. I'll hold still if you want to get a close-up of the beard. This is my beard. We're live in Ann Arbor, and all Ann Arbor is looking very closely at my beard. So I'll address his second question first. He said my beard looks fake. Well, sir, perhaps I have a suggestion. Perhaps my diet is so good and so healthy that my skin and hair is so healthy that it has this healthy high pro glow And it looks so good that it looks fake to people who are used to seeing unhealthy hair follicles, perhaps. I don't know. I do know that it's a genuine beard. This is my actual facial hair. Nothing added, nothing taken away. This is my own facial hair. And I don't know if it comes from eating vegetables or not. I have a feeling that even if I was an omnivore and didn't shave, I would still have a big beard.
It's just sort of part of you.
Yes, it really just grows there all of its own accord. It's magical that way. So the other question was by this guy who spoke with a sort of cheesy British accent. It was good though, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny. Sir, whoever you are, I have a feeling maybe I know who you are. Maybe you're out there in disguise. But it was a good accent. We were fooled. He asked about my credentials. He said, what are my credentials aside from being a guy who knows a lot about food? The answer is, to be quite frank, absolutely none. I have absolutely no credentials whatsoever. I have no formal training in much of anything, really. I have a bachelor's of general studies from U of M, which they were kind enough to give me a few years ago. And aside from that, really, I read a lot of books, and I try to eat an intelligent vegan diet. And really, the thing that separates me from other people is I'm sitting here in front of the camera, and everyone else is at home on the other side. That's really
And besides that, Blake is a nutrition god.
I am a nutrition god. It has been said.
Should be respected.
Do we have another call? Yes, respect me or.
Hello, thanks for calling. Digestion Matters.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. I'm just calling. I would like you to respond to the article. I would like you to respond to the article in the New York Times today saying that vitamins are bad or maybe bad for humans.
Yeah. Okay. I can respond. Can we turn him off? Yeah. I can respond. He said his question was he'd like me to respond to the article that appeared in today's New York Times that said vitamins. He said vitamins. I don't pronounce the word. I say vitamins. Maybe I'm just from the Midwest. He said that vitamins are bad, potentially bad for the human body. I didn't read the article, so I don't know exactly what it said. But he said that the gist apparently was that vitamins are bad for the human body. Well, my thought is that taking vitamins in pill form, I don't think it's really a bad thing. I don't think it's going to hurt you by taking vitamins in pill form. I do think, however, it's just my opinion, and I could be wrong. My opinion is that they're not really very good for you. You just don't need them. They're not really very useful. They're not, you need vitamins, but you don't need them in a little pill form. That's sort of a denatured little rock you're trying to swallow. You need vitamins, which you do, and you're not getting enough. Eat more fruits and vegetables and sprouts and whole grains and beans. And if you want a vitamin pill, if you think you need a big shot of vitamin C or beta-carotene, what I recommend is drink fresh vegetable juices. If you really, it's sometimes you need a lot of vitamin C, or if you have a certain sort of condition or something going on in your body, you might need a lot of vitamin C or beta-carotene, perhaps, which is a sort of vitamin A thing. Then go out and get fresh vegetable juice. Get some carrot juice or pineapple or orange juice or green pepper juice mixed with carrot juice. And drink that instead. That's got a huge, powerful load of vitamins that are definitely usable by your body and definitely very healthy for you. So I don't know if vitamins pills are good or bad, but I don't think you need them. I think it's a waste of money and time. And half of them you just piss out anyway because if you have an excess of them, they're sort of insoluble or soluble or something. And you just piss them out and you're wasting your money. Go spend your money on carrot juice instead.
It makes that much more things for your body to have to filter out.
Exactly.
So, I guess we have another call.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Blake?
Yeah.
I enjoy watching this show, and I can understand that you know a lot about minerals and vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you can answer my question. I have two parts, kind of.
Yeah?
Well, I used to drink a lot of different kind of juices,